Hi, I'm Carolyn, and this is Steve, and we are hooked on cruising. I've seen a common question throughout social media when it comes to CPAP machines, breathing machines, sleep apnea machines, whatever you like to call them. And the question is always, can I bring it on the cruise? Can I bring my own water? Do I need, electrical cords and all this stuff? So we thought we would do a video to try to help you resolve some of those questions you have. So let me wake up Steve. Steve. Wakey, wakey. Hi.
That's better. Hi. So we want to talk about CPAP machines, do we?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. So we've had the opportunity to be dealing with a CPAP machine for close to 20 years now. So
that's a long time.
That's a really long time.
That's a really long time.
Yes. And obviously, we have traveled from time to time in the midst of those 20 years. So we've had the opportunity to be able to take CPAP machines with us. We've been on a number of cruises during that period of time, and what we have seen as far as taking the CPAP machine with us, it's easier to take the CPAP machine onto a cruise ship than it is to get it through the TSA checkpoints at an airport. Sometimes that's been
painful.
A big pain.
Yeah.
Big pain to deal with.
So super simple going on a cruise.
Yes, it's pretty easy going through a cruise.
Yeah.
One of the key things you need to remember is that if you're taking that CPAP on board, you need to be carrying it with you with your carry-on luggage as you get on board the ship. You can't put it in your check bags. No. It's got to be with you as you go through the security points to be able to get onto the cruise. One of the other things that people run into, obviously, is they oftentimes will be bringing distilled water with them to use with the CPAP machine. I'll provide them some hydration while it's running overnight. And the question is whether or not you can do that, because there's some limitations of bringing water on board the cruise ship as well. And the answer again is yes, you can bring your distilled water with you. The requirement is it needs to be in a container that is brought with the CPAP machine as part of your carry-on luggage as you get on board the ship. So again, relatively straightforward, relatively easy to deal with. The question is, am I bringing a big jug of water? What do I need to do? Well, one of the things that we have just recently picked up within the last couple of weeks was a new water bottle to bring with, something that looks kind of like this. It's got markings on it to tell us how much water is both in the container and from the other side how much you've actually used. I've actually been able to use that over the last couple of weeks to be able to sort of measure exactly how much water I'm putting into the CPAP machine at night and see how much I'm using, which is kind of a nice thing. I've never really known before, even though I've been using it forever, to know how much water I'm actually going through on a regular basis. So that's been nice to know. We'll be able to use that. That particular water bottle's got 24 ounces in it. I go through about 2 ounces in a day, so that'd be good for 12 days. So that's a good thing to be able to have, and an easy way it will fit into my bag with my CPAP stuff. So it's an easy way to be able to bring the water with me without adding too much weight or baggage to carry on board when I'm trying to get on board the ship, which should work very nicely. One of the other things you need to run into and you need to be aware of getting onto a cruise ship, if you've been on cruises before, you're aware of the fact that the electrical outlets aren't in very plentiful supply, particularly on older ships. Some of the newer ships, it's not as bad, but the older ships in particular, you've got typically in the cabins, you'll end up with only one electrical outlet in the cabin. And so the first question is, well, gee, I've got a whole bunch of stuff I'd like to be able to plug in at some point in time. How am I going to be able to do that? And so since there's a single outlet, 110 outlet to deal with, there's also typically one 220-volt outlet if there's Europeans coming, since they have a little different electrical connections over in Europe, is to bring an extension cord, something like this. I bring a 15-foot extension cord with me. That gives me enough room from where the electrical outlet typically is placed, which is with the vanity and cabinets and that is normally a few feet away from where the bed is at.
Yeah.
So that 15-foot length plus the length of the power cord for the CPAP machine gives me enough room to get the CPAP right next to me sleeping in bed and lets me have a comfortable time in the process. One of the other possibilities you might have, depending upon how they've arranged the outlets, is just sort of a 3-way adapter, standard 3-prong plug on the backside, give you 3 outlets to be able to work with. That would be another choice. You could potentially, if you wanted, go ahead and bring a power strip. The issue that the cruise line, Carnival in particular, requires is that if you're bringing a power strip or an extension cord, it cannot include a surge protector. So
it'll get confiscated.
They'll take it away from you. They will probably give it back to you before you get off the boat, but that's going to cause problems. And you really don't want to do that, either trying to get on the boat or once you've gotten there, if they happen to see you with that in the cabin. So from that perspective, I would stay away from that. The extension cord actually has worked really well for us. We've had other electronics plugged in along with the CPAP machine for charging handheld devices like phones and things like that overnight, and that's worked really well to be able to try and keep everything up to date with things.
And if you happen to forget your extension cord, or you forget your cord in general, you can just ask your room steward, and they typically have plenty available for you to borrow and then return at the end of your cruise.
One of the other things you've got is that, go back to the issue as far as the water is concerned, you can order distilled water from the cruise line, and they will deliver it to the room for you. A gallon of water from Carnival typically runs a little bit under $4. Is that right?
Yeah.
Keep the
under $4. Right. And kind of convenient. You don't have to bring yours on the ship then, and you can pre-order it ahead of time. So when you get in your cabin, it should be there or on its way. If you don't order it before you get on the ship, then you can just call room service and they will get one to you. So it's pretty simple.
That way it just shows up on your account for you,
and
you're good and ready to go. There's a chance that you may run into a situation where it's like, well, you know, my CPAP machine is really big and bulky and heavy, and I really would not, like to consider other sort of options. And one of the things that we have done, looking at travel opportunities down the road, is to pick up a new, small travel CPAP machine.
Compact little thing.
Yeah.
Kind of cute.
Maybe a third the size of my existing unit, which weighs about 2 to 3 pounds.
Yeah.
The size of the thing is basically there. So it's a little bit on the expensive side, and typically health insurance will not cover the cost for it. So you pick up the total price tag for that one. You can occasionally find them on sale. Maybe be able to find coupons from healthcare providers and things like that to get a little bit of a deal on it. So you might be able to help cut the cost a little bit in that regard. But that's something that we're looking forward to giving a test run here on the next cruises we have coming up in a couple of months to help lighten the load as far as carrying medical equipment on board with us. Well, actually, a lot of the times when you buy CPAP equipment, they'll come with like a 30-day trial. So you get to try them for at least a couple of weeks to make sure that it's going to work okay for you. And you can return it if it doesn't seem to be suitable for whatever reason. So we'll actually give it a test run before we end up taking it on a cruise and try it out here at home. Yeah. Give it a test run and make sure that it looks like it works okay and everything else.
We'll come back and give you a review on it too. See what we think.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing.
And I think we'll take it on our cruise with us if we end up liking it. So
yeah, absolutely.
He said a couple months, but it's February, so it's not too far away.
Yeah, a little over a month. Okay. Yeah. You win. Is that pretty much covered for today?
I think so. Like I said, we just wanted to try to help you guys figure out sort of what it looks like to bring a CPAP. We know that there's lots of families out there, lots of people that know somebody, or you are a person that has a CPAP and want to take it on a cruise with you. So just a couple of rules and do's and don'ts to follow. So always make sure, this is through Carnival. Just make sure if you're going to travel, just to double check and take a look at their website to make sure nothing has changed as of today you never know. We say what happens today, and by next week things could change. So always remember to, do a little research to make sure what your cruise line allows and doesn't allow you to bring online. So hopefully that helps you out. We would love it if you could like this video and subscribe to our channel. Please let your family members know that are cruising or that travel a lot with CPAP and that sort of thing. So we hope we helped you out some. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And we'll just go from there. We'll give you a review in a couple weeks of what Steve thought about that machine. Hopefully it works, because it looks like it could really be good.
The size.
The size is amazing. So
and theoretically, it's supposed to be not much louder than the one that was running when we first started this video.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. So thanks for joining us, and we are over and out. So we will see you soon. Bye.